Okay, I usually don't do lives this late, but I said I was going to do one yesterday, and I didn't get a chance, and today has kind of gotten away from me. And I've been wanting to send a message out there to Nathan Stolpman. Maybe you already have done this in the last couple days, but could you just do a proof of life video for everyone? People are worried about you, dude. You know? And now they've gotten me concerned. I know you're going through a rash of shit. And, but if you could just take, like, just a couple minutes. Not even. Just, you know, send out, hey, I'm okay. No need to worry. It's just a request. I keep getting people leave comments and they send me emails, but people don't understand that Nathan and I haven't talked. When we were talking, he was interviewing me. It was more of a professional thing, you know. It wasn't like we were breaking bread and I knew much about his life. You know, same thing with Isaac, you know. We didn't have time for pleasantries because I was focused on this child trafficking bullshit. Isaac Cappy was focused on this child trafficking bullshit. Nathan is trying to build a career, and he has done a fairly good job. It's just that they've inundated him. I mean, when he did that live that I went on like a year ago, they were all in there. The same motherfuckers that were all surrounding Isaac Cappy right before he died. And they're bullshit. The reason why I haven't done videos that I've been kind of inconsistent this last week is because for the last 2 weeks, all of their shit, just to admit it, has, you know, it's hard to just compartmentalize and let it go. And so, and when I get upset with the shit, I end up getting tired. And so I slept. So in a way I was letting them win. My house was a pit. My kitchen was a mess. So I've spent the last few days just reclaiming everything. Because they just never stop. It's just constant bullshit. Constant bullshit. Constant bullshit. And it's from every fucking one of their goddamn directions. They do it to every but one who wants to expose their child trafficking shit. They do. It's their MO. That's what they do. You know? The difference is that most people, it makes afraid. Me, it just pisses off. But that's pretty much because 31 years of therapy. I will say that as far as when it comes to the ritual abuse and being a victim of ritual abuse, I wish people would stop calling themselves survivors, because you haven't survived shit. If you're anything like me, that shit can pick up your life and spin it around in circles, and it doesn't make any difference how much therapy you've had or where you are in your life. This shit can pick you up at any time, and does. As you get older, as I've gotten older, especially with therapy, those times aren't as frequent and they don't last as long. But still, you know, still, you end up having to deal with all of that stuff. We never get over it. You know, it's a constant battle all of our lives. At least it has been for me. But it doesn't help that I'm under attack with them either. All of their fucking emails and them bragging and just, they act with such impunity. Of course they do. Because Thomas Schoenberger was right. Kash Patel is hiding them. Kash Patel is an idiot. Now that we are beyond the emotional aspect of the whole Charlie Kirk situation, that dude was shot from behind, not in front. he slumps, and then there's a hole. And people have videos over and over and over. Everyone has analyzed it. They took out Charlie Kirk for whatever purpose. Same reason why that dude that was supposedly supposed to shoot up the ice thing, they found those bullets that had shit written. So now they write things on bullets every single time. You know? That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever... And why would they post that shit within, you know, right after that shooting? You know? They're either incompetent or there's other shit going on, but they're not telling the truth. The Epstein files, you know? You think that when they do release that shit, that those are going to be... They've spent all of this time hiding all of it, you know? It's the Nazi philosophy that says, don't believe what you see or hear. Only believe them. And so that's what is happening. Only believe them, but don't believe what you're seeing. Certainly don't use critical reasoning skills or any level of discernment. Because it's just amazing. It's amazing. Because it's right in front of everyone's faces. It's in front of everyone's faces. And personally now, after watching, because I didn't watch just one. Once I found out about it and watched one, I started watching other people because they had gun experts and medical experts who have actually weighed in after watching that. He was shot from behind. He slumps before the hole appears in his neck. He was shot from behind. What he did was typical of a spinal injury, and people who do that stuff, they're all saying the same thing. The official narrative can't even possibly be true. And so, you know, I really don't care about your bullshit with the flyers. See, that's the whole thing. They're doing everything they can to isolate me. But they can no longer deny that they're doing the shit. Because the flyers, everybody in town knows that they're after me. And they know why. You know? The interesting thing about it is that those signs out in my yard, they think that everyone's laughing at me. Some people hate them. Some people really like them. You know? I've had people come up and tell me that they like those signs. So... And really, when it comes down to it, what else was I supposed to do? All of this shit was going down. The sheriff's office, the sheriff's department is working with the fucking child traffickers. So how else was I supposed to get my point out? You know, all the bullshit, all the gossip, that got all over the place. But people needed to know my side. I find that those front yard signs have been incredibly effective for that. They've been incredibly effective. But Johnny Dubb, Lucian Greaves, Thomas Schoenberger's little friend, sent me this thing of, when your group is so well organized, nobody knows who the leader is. Thank you for admitting that you're fucking a group gang stalking me and that it's all involved. That's what I'm saying. They're not very bright. Because that is a felony. Easily proved. They just bragged about it. That's the thing with Geo Farnsworth and Daniel Dowd. I would have not given them even a moment's thought. But they bragged about murdering Owen. And I'm not going to let that go. I'm just not going to let it go. They murdered my friend and bragged about it. I'm not going to let that go. I don't give a fuck who feels what about that. I'm not letting it go. Would have never had an idea that happened. But they bragged about it. Went out of their way to let me know. Just like they do all the shit. You know? Breaking into my house. breaking into my house, stealing that laptop, and then bragging about it online. Sending me an email and bragging about it. I didn't even know the fucking thing was gone until they bragged about it. You know? They come in and do whatever the fuck they want. And yeah, it's fucking meth heads. I keep getting this idiot, oh, your neighbors work for us. Tell me something I don't fucking know. I know you're paying them. They're not doing it for free. You know? They're not doing it because they like you. They're doing it because you're giving them money. And you have a lot of money. You know? All of you have a lot of money. This child trafficking thing is just bullshit. You know? And this is what they do. And I'm not the only person they've done this to. There's a lot of people that they've done it to. As far as the ritual abuse and like Isaac Cappy and Tracy Twyman and all of the other advocates, what makes me different is like what I just went through. Even when I have a dark night of the soul, I have experienced too many things to say that heaven and God doesn't exist, that miracles can't happen, that angels and demons and all of that stuff. I've experienced too much. I can't say it doesn't exist. So basically my dark night of the soul is, it just takes me a little bit to stop feeling sorry for myself and just realize that I'm on the path that God chose for me, you know, that God wants me on. Always sends me out of my comfort level. But and the saddest part about this whole rapture thing is how easily people are so duped. You know? People gave away all their shit thinking that it was true. You know? Who's made CIA director? They already have the vice president. They're just waiting for Trump because Vance is incredibly malleable. He'll do whatever the fuck they want, you know? However, now that Three-Eye Atlas has broken apart, now there's 6 comets with it, and it's broken apart, and it keeps getting bigger, and now it's almost the size of our sun. So, and it seems to be having this really bizarre effect on our sun. And it's intensifying it for some reason. The Three-Eye Atlas thing just got hit with another huge plasma blast. It's bizarre. This is the second one now. And they've been huge plasma blasts. You know? Anything else is foolish. It is. Fill your heart with love. The only way to do that is to serve the word, you know? That's what I believe. That's what saved me. From all the shit that I went through and all of the stuff that I knew and all of the devil-loving bullshit and fucking killing kids in Hummel Park and being tortured in all those mind control programs off at Air Force Base, what saved me was heaven. And the Word, and Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ led me to the Word. You know, I went to read the gospel of Jesus Christ so I could prove it wrong. And what ended up happening is that I realized that it was infallible. It's exactly how it works. You know? And so, I think we're at the end. I would highly suggest that people actually think about their souls right now. Because if you don't, you're not going to like ending up in the darkness. You know? And if the whole thing about this whole rapture weird ass shit that just happened, you know, what it shows is people actually really believe that you can buy your way into heaven. You can do something at the very end. Because what they did was give money to the poor. They gave all their shit away to follow Jesus Christ. That's what they did. You know? I don't know what this kitty history thing is. But, so, that's what I wanted to get out there. They've had me isolated. When I don't do my dishes, my whole house goes to shit. And it's not like it's filthy dirty. It's not like I'm a hoarder or anything. But I have dogs and just common life. And shit builds up. Especially if I don't put stuff away. And when I have a messy kitchen, it sucks. Because I have a small house. So a messy kitchen that's how it starts. And so I've had shit that I've had to do. And I'm sick of them having so much control over my life. You know? I'm sick of the fucking constant, I'm sick of it. And the fact that I am disabled, officially, legally disabled, and they're actually able to do this to someone who's disabled. Whether the fuck they like me or not is inconsequential, you know? But fuck, if they can do that to me and I'm disabled, that means they can fucking do it to anybody who's disabled. And why did they pick me? Because I was disabled, they thought I was an easy target. And now they're crying like little bitches because now they're finding out that I'm not so easy of a target. You know? They think they have me with the house. These house taxes that I have to come up with. $1,800 by the beginning of next year. Yeah. Stressing the shit out of me. But when I pray and I hear from and heaven answers, all I have is stop worrying, have faith. Again, I keep getting pulled out of my comfort level because of course I want to panic. In the last 2 weeks, it's been exhausting. All of their shit and breaking into my house. And then they threaten, you know, and they're triggering the post-traumatic stress disorder and they're doing it on purpose. They know what they're doing, you know? It's just that with years and years of therapy, and I have a great therapist, I'm able to at least maintain. But fuck, with them making videos of them blowing up my house and burning my house down and all of this other bullshit, it's like this shock and awe fear campaign. And it really drives a lot of people crazy. It drives almost everyone crazy. They don't like it because I'm not being driven crazy. Oh, it's pissing me off, and it's having an effect on me. But if they think they're going to drive me mad by their bullshit, the problem that they have is I know what is right in front of them. I know the dark is right in front of them. And it makes all of this at least doable. You know? If I didn't have that, I'd be fucking hopeless. Because I don't think mankind is going to do anything about this child trafficking. I don't think anybody's going to do shit. Fuck. I just don't. I think it's entertainment. And they'll, you know. But I think they fucking just murdered Charlie Kirk so that everyone would stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I really do believe. Because he obviously was not killed from the front. He was killed from the back. They're lying about that. Since they're lying about that, what else are they lying about? You know? And look at how they used it. Look at how they used it. It was their own Reichstag. That's how they tried to use it. The problem with their shit, this whole mantra of when you tell a lie loud enough and long enough, it becomes the truth, doesn't work when there's so much noise. Back in World War II, that's all they heard. The lie got repeated over and over and over, but there was nothing else. fuck, now there's so much noise. We carry our noise, our phones. Shit, there's so much information. Your lie will never work because it's not the only one. You know? Your lie, telling it loud enough and long enough and it becomes truth, only works if it's the only fucking lie. Or there's only a couple. But when there's so much shit, how are you going to convince people of anything? But then again, you just convinced a bunch of fucking people that the rapture was coming. And that had to have been a psyop. It was so... It came out of nowhere. You know? And again, it was the stupidest fucking thing. It just shows you that none of them are real Christians. Nobody knows the time, the date, or the hour. Not the angels, not even Jesus Christ knows. So, do you think one of those idiots on TikTok figured it out? Really? And if only you had as much compassion the rest of the time that you had then when you were thinking that you were buying your way into fucking heaven. It was just sad and pathetic. Pathetic. But Nathan, do a sign of life. And I don't give a shit what people think. There are too many experts who are saying that the official story on Charlie Kirk cannot be the truth. That is... Video is a wonderful fucking thing. That's why I've documented all of this. For all of you that I keep contacting now that are new to this, go to my blog, go listen to my YouTube. I've documented everything. The last 2 years has been really key. Happy. Because I opened up comments about Isaac at the exact same time. So you can go back 2 years and then key in and then just watch everything that I put out there. Go compare it to my blog. You know? I've documented everything. That's the thing, is that I've documented everything. It's all out there. And it's all screenshots of their own shit. These fucking child killers need to be brought down. I'm not going to stop. Yeah, they can get me to feel sad, but it never lasts. Because what it gets replaced with is this, okay, because God doesn't allow his followers to actually feel sorry for themselves for a long period of time. It's just my experience. If you're one of heaven's warriors and heaven needs you, you will be compelled. And that's saying it lightly. And the path to heaven is a narrow one, and it's fraught. It's hard. We walk on fucking scorpions, snakes, all kinds of weird ass shit. It's a hard path. It's a hard path. And sometimes you're going to feel sorry for yourselves. And that's okay. Feel sorry for yourself. Just realize that time's wasted and you got to do what you need to do. And so you can only feel sorry for yourself for so long. And we all have work to do. And this shit is almost over. You know, everyone can see it. The fucking economies everywhere around the world are collapsing. The governments are in fucking chaos. Every single one of them. The weather is getting bizarre. Earthquakes, volcanoes, the sun, that weird shit out in space. We have so many things that are focused on our demise. You better fucking think about your soul, because I don't think any of us are going to get the chance to live forever. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. You know? Or keep believing that you're going to be fucking raptured. You know? Shit. People giving away all their life savings. Where was I? I'm always in the wrong line. I'm just always in the wrong line. With that said, I'm going to pray. And I'm going to be off here. I'll do another one on Sunday. Tomorrow I have shit I want to get done. And I'm not going to want to do this again tomorrow. And I'm going to start keeping them down to like 30 minutes. That way I just get the shit. Nathan, do a proof of life. I know that you listen, that you watch this every once in a while. That's why I put your name in there. This is the only way I know how to get a hold of you. People are worried about you. You're in the same boat that I am in all of this. We owe a responsibility. We have a responsibility to people because they care about us, you know? Just to let them know that we're alive. You don't have to do shit. It doesn't have to be a long video. And for God's sake, keep all of those nasty motherfuckers off of it, you know? If you were wise, you would eradicate that trash from your life. Every fucking one of them. They're nothing but trash. They do nothing but bring chaos. That's all they fucking do. That's all they know how to do. So, Heaven, I come to you as your child. We all come to you. These days are getting bizarre, and it's hard to figure out what the truth is and what's not the truth. Fill our hearts with grace and open our eyes to see the path you need us to walk. If we have a calling, help us make sure that we understand exactly what that calling is. If it includes violence or hurting someone, it's not the right path. It's certainly not from heaven. So if someone's calling and this goes for all of you that are listening, fill your hearts with love. You know? Love God, love everyone else. The 2 commandments Jesus Christ gave us. Stop thinking that you're going to be raptured. And start realizing that there's fucking work to do. Get over it. These days suck. Yes, they do. And we all need each other to get through them. And it's hard to not think boo-hoo for you, because it's the same thing for all of us. And I just had to use those same fucking words on myself. Boo fucking who. The shit that's going on in my life, boo fucking who. There's work to be done. I can sit around and feel sorry for myself and give these dumbasses some power, or I can take back the power and actually do what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's true for all of us. That's how it works. And I just ask that you help us all see that in our lives. And that we help and are supportive to each other. And so, you sent your son, our brother down, Jesus Christ, taught us about the word, showed us the way, lived a life that we were able to emulate as best as we can. I don't know about everybody else, but I'll be eternally grateful. You saved me. And so in every way. And I thank you. And I serve you. And all glory goes to heaven. Amen. Oh, Jesus. I'm praying, and they all come in like idiots. I would stop worrying about parallel universes and realize that your soul is in this one, and you should think about your soul. Stop fucking worrying about parallel universes. You don't live in a fucking parallel universe. You live in this one. And if you don't have love in your heart, the minute after you take your last breath, you're going to get claimed by the fucking dark. That goes for all of us. The only way to bypass that fate is to love God and love everyone else and fill your hearts with love as best as you can. Because without that energy that provides, you will not be able to ascend. You will not find the doorway to ascend. you'll be stuck in the dark, along with all these fucking child killers. But don't worry, you won't know that they're there. They won't know that you're there, because everyone's alone in the dark. And so, but with that said, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday.